Super Mario RPG is beloved for many reasons. It's charming, it's funny, and it gave players a way to explore the world of Mario like none before and only a few others since. But another reason why Mario RPG is celebrated is because it is absolutely chock full of neat secrets, references, and Easter eggs that serve as fun rewards for having an inquisitive mind. Most of these are holdovers from the SNES game, but if you're coming into Mario RPG for the first time, or you want to see how the remake handled some of them, here's a look at some of our favorite Super Mario RPG secrets and Easter eggs that you can find in the remake. Let's start off with some baby secrets that just involve a fun reaction from either NPCs or Mario himself. There's a little hyperactive kid that endlessly runs in a square. If you jump on his head and just wait, this amusing animation happens. Also in Mushroom Kingdom, if you head into the item shop, try jumping on the shelf for an amusing little interaction with the shopkeep. This one is one of the most well-known secrets in Mario RPG, but if you head to Peach's room and press A next to her chair, you'll find Peach's unmentionables and get chastised for snooping around another's room. You can do this again when Peach is actually in your party for similar, but different results. Finally, one last secret in the Mushroom Kingdom. After defeating Bellum for the second time in Bellum's temple, head back to the Mushroom Kingdom and check out the guest room for a little cameo from the one and only Samus. Samus is far from the only Nintendo-related cameo in Super Mario RPG. You can also find Link sleeping at the inn in Rosetown after defeating Bowyer. Much later in the game, once you reach Barrel Volcano, if you take some time to explore the shop, you'll also notice these neatly laid out on a shelf. We've got an R-Wing from Star Fox, along with 2 cars from F-Zero, Captain Falcon's Blue Falcon, and Samurai Goro's Fire Stingray. There are a variety of Nintendo-related Easter eggs all throughout Booster's Tower. Let's start with the receptionist desk. Right here is a Magitech armor suit from Final Fantasy VI. Later on, you'll find this room where you can head behind a curtain and come out in 8-bit mode. And near the top of the tower, you'll find a box of Booster's toys, which contain dolls for Samus, Rob the Robot, a car from Stunt Race FX, and Disc-kun, the mascot for the Famicom Disk System in Japan. Mario can be an absolute menace in Marymore. First up, try jumping on the cake while Chef Tort is still working on it. If you'd like to continue jumping on things you're not supposed to jump on, head back to the chapel after collecting the star, and hop on the organ for this fun little reaction. Continue your quest to be Marymore's Most Wanted by staying a night in their Grand Suite, but then keep on sleeping and racking up those 200 coin a night room charges until your debt outweighs the amount of coins you have. Since you can't pay for your bill, you'll be forced to work as a bellhop. This will completely drain your wallet, so maybe save up before you attempt this. You probably know the trick about the Geno Whirl special move. If you time it perfectly, it can hit for 9,999 damage. This is not allowed on bosses with the sole exception of one, Exor. That's right, you can use it to defeat the giant sword that crashed through Bowser's castle in just one hit with a well-timed Geno Whirl. This one is actually a holdover from the Japanese version of Super Mario RPG, but was never present in the US version. If you bring up the pause menu and enter the code, down, up, right, left, LRLRB. Doing this will cause Toad to pop up on the menu screen to check to see if your secret code messed with any of your stats or experience. Turns out, the code does nothing, but you can continue to enter it and have this amusing conversation with Toad play out again and again. After you finish up at Marymore and recruit Princess Peach, head to the inn at the Mushroom Kingdom and keep on bugging this little kid playing his handheld. Eventually, he'll get sick of everything and offer to sell you his game for 500 coins. If you buy it, you'll be able to play the game at any time through the pause screen. There's no real reward tied to the game itself, so only be ready to throw down the 500 coins if you're genuinely interested in playing the game. After defeating Valentina, you can actually catch a funny little hidden scene involving her and Booster by climbing all the way back up to the top of Booster Tower. It looks like this. After completing the Marrymore section of the game, and also after defeating Boshi in a race on Yoster Isle, you'll notice that there's a baby Yoshi in the nest that you can feed cookies to. If you manage to feed him 30 cookies in total, he'll grow big and plump. From there, you can feed him 10 or 20 cookies at a time for different rewards. Feeding him 10 cookies will get you a random reward of either bracers, energizers, Yoshi candies, red essences, or the Yoshi Aid. Feeding him a total of 50 cookies will get you a frog coin. You can get these cookies by betting big and winning on the Yoshi races. This is probably the most difficult secret to pull off in Mario RPG, but if you manage to perform 100 consecutive bounces with Mario's super jump skill, you'll be able to return to the dog in Monster Town, and he'll reward you with the Super Suit, which is Mario's best armor in the game. Alright, now that we got most of the smaller secrets out of the way, let's go into some of the longer, multi-step ones. You may notice while in Monster Town that there's a key in plain sight out of reach above the door leading to the house of the Thwomp and the dog. You can get this key to fall down by chatting with the Thwomp and making him slam the ground 8 times. With the key in hand, return to Bellum Temple by way of the trampoline at the leftmost end of Monster Town. Go all the way back to the top of the elevator with the Bellum statue and the tongue sticking out, and reset the room by leaving and entering it again. Hit the tongue for a new fortune, and keep on resetting the room and hitting the tongue until the fortune reads, "Sorry, I'm not accepting visitors past my bedtime." When you get that message, go back down the elevator into the next room, and give the Bellum statue the key to access a secret treasure room with a bunch of flowers, great restorative items, a firebomb, and a bunch of frog coins. This is probably one of the most well-known secrets in video games, period. But there's a secret Final Fantasy-inspired boss fight in Super Mario RPG that serves as the game's biggest challenge. To fight Culex, you need to first head to Moleville and make your way to the northwesternmost house, where you'll find a mole selling fireworks. Buy them for 500 coins, then take them to this small girl outside by a bunch of boxes, who will trade you a shiny stone for the fireworks. This shiny stone is the key to the Dark Door in Monster Town, which is where you can find Culex. Take heed, he is a very powerful boss that will likely wipe the floor with you when you are first able to unlock the door. Our recommendation is to attempt him when your characters are all at least level 20 or so, with the best gear you can equip. New to the remake is a part 2 of the Culex fight. In the post-game, you're able to challenge certain bosses again to a rematch. After defeating Johnny in his rematch fight, you'll gain the extra shiny stone. Take this stone back to Culex's door to unlock it once again, and you'll have to fight Culex in a whole new dimension. This is the fight to end all fights in Super Mario RPG, so, make sure you're prepared. Mario's best weapon, the Lazy Shell, is also pretty notoriously hidden. The first thing you'll need to do is complete a small side quest. You'll need to first get the seed and the fertilizer. The seed is hard to miss, as you'll find it just by examining a note after defeating the boss Mega Smilax on the way to Nimbus Town. The fertilizer can be found after clearing Nimbus Castle and defeating Valentina. Head to the far right to reach a house that Croco is stealing from, then head down from the door and hug the invisible wall to the right that will eventually lead to an invisible path that leads to Bezo, the Shy Guy gardener. Talk to him to get the fertilizer. Now head to Rosetown, and you'll notice in the northeastern corner that there's a new path that leads to a home with a man that needs the seed and fertilizer. Listen to him freak out, and then hand him over. Climb up the beanstalk that erupts, and you'll find your Lazy Shell weapon and armor. Knife Guy and Great Guy are 2 forgettable bosses that you fought in Booster's Tower. What's much more memorable about them is the hidden casino that they run. To find it, the first thing you'll want to do is head back to Booster's Tower and climb up until you run into Knife Guy again. He'll challenge you to a game in which you need to pick the hand that he's hiding a yellow ball in. Do this 12 times successfully in a row, and he'll reward you with the Bright card. Once you have the Bright card, head over to Bean Valley and proceed through until you reach the spot where there are 5 pipes. Enter the topmost pipe, fight the golden chain chomp at the end of the room, and once he's down, jump 3 times in the corner to make a hidden platform appear. Jump on the platform to get on top of the wall, and head through the exit. You'll be back at the world map with a new path leading to Great Guy's Casino. Since you've got the Bright card, you'll be allowed entry and will be able to try your luck at slots, a memory game, and Great Guy's own personal game, Look the Other Way. Manage to win at that last game 100 times, and you'll get a star egg, if you really want it. And finally, let's cover how to get the legendary sheep attack. First, you're going to want to purchase the mystery egg from the item shop in Moleville, which you can only get after also buying the lucky jewel for 100 coins. Next, make sure you have the nurture ring from the item shop in Marymore. Now, equip Peach with the nurture ring and have her use the mystery egg in battle 11 times. On the 11th use, it will become a lamb's lure, which has a chance of turning an enemy into a sheep, making them run away from battle. Now you've got to use the lamb's lure 48 times in battle. Once you do, you'll get a message saying the flock is full, and the lamb's lure will turn into the sheep attack, which largely does the same thing, only it affects all enemies. It's important to note here that if you turn an opponent into a sheep, you won't actually get any EXP for the battle. It also doesn't work on bosses, so the use of this item is limited to say the least. And those are our picks for the best secrets and Easter eggs in Super Mario RPG. Let us know your favorites, and for more Super Mario RPG, check out these videos. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.